Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. This is part 2 of our initial playthrough of the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. And that doesn't want to load, okay. So, last time we got the Great Sword of Solitude, a very good strength scaling greatsword with a cool unique skill. We got the Black Steel Great Hammer with physical and holy damage, scaling off both strength and faith. We got the Beast Claw, scaling off strength and dex. And we got a few other things like the Blade of Mercy. So, 2 Bloodborne references, which was beautiful. And alright, it wants to load now. And we covered a few different areas. And I'm assuming there's a boss here that I decided to not fight because they're giant. And something I want to quickly point out is the load time has completely tanked with this patch. Like, coming into the game, like, I have a timer so that way I don't go over an hour for these videos. And I've loaded into the game twice now. Once for part 1, once here for part 2. Both times took over 2 minutes. During patch 1.10, the load times were like 2 to 7 seconds. So, it's not like, oh, you are big, but great swords are powerful. As I've said before, great swords are busted. Some people prefer to go with super flashy weapons. Or like super high damage weapons. Like colossal swords and some great hammers are very popular. But they lack a bit of versatility. And while greatswords don't reach the insane heights that those weapons have, greatswords also don't reach the lows that those weapons have. So they're a lot more universally useful. They're a lot more versatile. But Revered Spirit Ash. It looks like he's coming towards us. But we can ignore that. Hopefully. Spirit Ash of those who came before, infused with potent spirituality, acquired from the corpses of horn-scent and other objects that ritually decorate townships and villages across the realm of Shadow. Consume these at sites of grace to bolster your Revered Spirit Ash blessing. The Revered Spirit Ash blessing bolsters both summoned spirits and spectral steed's ability to deal and negate damage, but it has no influence outside the realm of Shadow. The withered corpses were called tutelary deities, and revered spirit ashes were said to quietly accumulate in the palms of their hands. So spectral steed, that'd be torrent, and it says deal damage. And down there's the mausoleum where we got the Armor of Solitude and the Great Sword of Solitude. And that's a bird. I didn't fight the bird, so I guess we should. Well, if you can walk up on something and it doesn't aggro on you, it tends to be pretty easy, so... that checks out. But, oh... Fulgur Bloom? Lightning Fulgur Bloom, which I love. This thing is a massive. Alright. I was gonna let you live, but you insisted on coming after me, so you die. Kinda curious on if the big ones drop any unique items, but they're not being aggressive, so... we're gonna stick to the rule. If it's not trying to kill you, you shouldn't kill it. I feel like that's a pretty good rule to follow in a FromSoft game. I mean, any game really, but... in FromSoft games, things that aren't trying to kill you are so rare that they just have to be appreciated. And like, even gravity tries to kill you most of the time in these games. I thought this was a cave for a second. Ow. Stab you in the back. And you are free to die. There's a building here. And we haven't been here before. Doesn't look like. Hopefully no one tries to kill us here. Blessed Blue Dude Talisman. Blessed Dude Talisman is one of my favorites. Slowly restores FP. Oh, beautiful. This is one of the things that I've been asking for forever. Things that slowly, passively regenerate anything. Health, FP. I always love these things. And that is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. And right now, I mean, Oathseeker Knight set and Pata. We can look at this first. Pata, Fist, Standard and Pierce, Strength and Dex. A weapon comprised of a linear double-sided blade attached to a substantial guard wielded by the Oathseeker Knights. This versatile armament can be swung about like a fist or used in the manner of a straight sword. Note that, versatile. That's precisely why I like greatswords so much. Because they're versatile. They're good in every situation. But then the skill impaling thrust, that's a normal thing. Oathseeker. Oathseeker Knight chest armor, black with gold ornamentation. These knights set off on quests of discovery, hoping to find by themselves an oath of their own choosing to serve in perfect, lifelong devotion. Right, so this is like a medium armor set. Where it's kind of defensive, but not too much. Looks pretty good. I am personally a fan of capes, so gonna keep going with this. but it looks good. But back to what I was saying before, my biggest issue with the DLC so far, again, I have done very little of it, but what little of it I have done so far, my biggest issue is that you get into it extremely late, and so you don't have nearly as much time to experience or enjoy the things that you do get outside of the DLC. Oh, this brings you back to the beginning. Okay. But it's like, to get to the DLC, you have to beat Moog, one of the final bosses in the game. And in my personal opinion, it's harder than the final boss. Meaning, by the time you beat them, you're pretty much done with the base game. And so you get all these cool weapons, and you just kind of can't really use them because you're already done with the game. And that's a big part of why I really like how they did the DLCs in Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. Because in Bloodborne, you get access to the DLC by beating Vicar Amelia, the second mandatory fight. And the third boss you're going to be fighting in the game. And in Dark Souls 3, you gain access to the first DLC at the Cathedral of the Deep, which is still in like the first third of the game. You can get there before fighting the first major boss. And the second DLC you access either by getting to the very end of the game, like the area with the final boss, Ow. Alright, we're gonna back up. And we're gonna lure this dog back. But the second DLC, you get access to it by getting to the very final area with the final boss. Or by beating the main boss in the first DLC. Meaning you can gain access to the DLC extremely early. But you kind of can't do that here in Elden Ring. Not unless you can beat one of the hardest bosses in the game. In the game known for having some of the hardest bosses in the series. In the series known for being extremely difficult. AKA, unless you're like a top 0.0001% absolute god gamer, you're not getting access to the DLC until the end of the game. Whereas in Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, you just aren't locked out like that. And so, like I said, that is by far my biggest issue with the DLC. Prospect Town. And I get why they do it. They do it so that way you can be at the end of the game and you can have more, like, points into levels and you can have more build variety and more strength and more experience. That way they can, like, they don't have to hold back. They can really go all in with the difficulty. And I understand that. But ow. Right. The idea was to get the dog out of the situation. We got the dog out of the situation. Now we're good. Moving on. But I think on a conceptual level, Dark Souls 3 had the best idea going for it. Of have one DLC that you can get access to early, but you're meant to fight it like halfway through the game. I can't lock on to you. Right, I hate these things, but it's not attacking me and it gave items, so the rule of if it's not trying to kill you, you don't kill it. And we can read this before moving on. Forger's Brood Cookbook 2. You can read that. It gets you fireproof pickled liver. Temporarily grants a large boost to fire damage negation. Okay. Is that just the... yeah, it's that thing. So, I think we've seen just about everything here. I think. We can do one more quick sweep. But again, I think Dark Souls 3 had the best idea of how to approach the DLCs on a conceptual level. Of have one that you can access early game, but it's meant to be taken on in like the mid to late game. And then a second DLC that you gain access to at the very end of the game, or by beating the main boss of the first DLC. And it's meant to be taken on like post-end game. And I'd say that Bloodborne did it second best. Where it can be accessed early game, but it's meant to be taken on like mid to end game. I gave you a chance to exist peacefully, you refused to take it. But here we have a second painting. Incursion. But yeah, just so I stop rambling about that forever, that is my one complaint so far with the DLC. And it's not that big of an issue. It's just, I'd rather have 2 DLCs. Even if they're a bit split up or smaller. Just to gain access to them earlier. Not earlier as in real life time, but earlier in the game progression. But work of a wandering artist reminiscent of the painting titled Incursion. This painter is said to have captured the landscapes seen during the last moments of those who welcomed into death's embrace. The soul of the painter and the vestiges of the dead's last moments can be discovered by visiting the location depicted even now. That looks like a fiery bridge. And there's something in the foreground. But it seems like that's everything from the first site of grace that we started at. Bear. Oh, you're red. The and you have horns. The bears in the base game aren't red, I don't think. Okay, good. But that's everything from here, I believe. And now we can head over here. I know that we can go this way, we can go this way. There might be a path left. Maybe. I honestly don't remember. Yeah, it doesn't look like we went this way. And so... I was about to say, there's not going to be a giant falling on top of us, is there? No. Elden Ring has a lot of items sprinkled about on these, like, side shoot areas. So, I wonder if there's going to be some stuff in those areas in the DLC as well. Yeah, I think that's what happened, is I went out this way, but then went left at the end of part 1. So now we can go forward and up, generally. And hopefully see some new stuff. We are heading towards a giant building, which probably means death, because giant buildings... NPC, hello. Carved words coalesce. I been in here, a part of the flesh of my body. We got a skidoo tree fragment and 2 NPCs.
You must be the Tarnished. I am Ansbach, formerly in service to Lord Moog, but now, like you, another soul guided by kindly Mikola. I'm hardly the steady hand I once was. My fighting days are far behind me, which is why I have chosen to dedicate myself to investigation, to discern Tender Mikola's ultimate purpose. I'd rather not volunteer service to a new master unless I know that I can be of use.
Your old master sucks. He's dead. I killed him. You have a cool voice. You have a cool armor set. If I wasn't so strict on my self-imposed rules, I would probably kill you for the armor set. But continuing on.
May I request a service of you? 6 crosses, identical to this one, have been discovered in these lands. They are akin to Tender Mikola's footprints, or gravestones, which mark what he's left behind. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Mikola is doing here. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Mikola is doing here.
He said there's 6 of these? Either 6 or 6 others. I'm gonna go with 6. There was 1 just over there. There's 1 here. So I've got 2.
Hello there. Together, we work. Together. for Mikola the Kind. Many things we have found.
Oh, merchant. So, damage negation, stamina recovery speed, crafting. You can pause and read these if you want, if you so desire, but I'm not gonna go through the crafting items. But note, we can read that. Talk.
I like finding things for you, Lady Leda, her allies, and the forager brute. Things bring joy to all. I like finding for you things. Goodbye.
He has one of the, like, really big poofy armor sets that some people like. Like, Lionel said, Hovel set isn't super poofy, but, like, super big, super defensive sets. Some people are really into that. I don't know where the notes are. The ones here. Note found by the Forager Brood imparting knowledge and brief. Should you chance upon a sealed spirit spring, look for stacked stones nearby. By toppling them, you may break the seal. Spirit springs. Those are the wind tunnels you jump on Torrent with, right? Something that makes things unnecessarily difficult for myself is I don't tend to use the official language. I tend to have nicknames for things. And so when the game talks about something, or when other people in the community talk about things, half the time I have no idea what they're talking about because we use completely different words. But giant door. I'm surprised we could open this. I thought that we'd have to find like a lever or something. But such is the nature of strength builds, we can... I would rather just fight the giant fire guy. I don't care if that thing is easier. I'd rather fight the giant fire guy. Like, the way I see it, the more legs something has, the more evil it is. Oh, no. Oh, kill it. Kill with fire. Just kill them all with fire. Scorpion liver. Is that one of these things? I probably should have looked at the image. Oh, here. You can read that if you want by pausing. Revered Spear Dash. So we got 2 of those now. Shadow Rope. I do not like you things. It's like, I'd rather deal... I would much rather deal with snakes. Snakes have no legs. For a second I thought this was a bloodstain and I went, wait, what? I'm playing offline. How could this happen? But kill it with fire. Kill it with fire. Kill it with fire. That's the real reason we have the Blasphemous Blade. Not because it's overpowered, but because it has fire damage. Definitely. But yeah, I would much rather deal. Don't I feel like you should have hit me there. But okay. Again, snakes are just so much better. They have no legs. Belurat Tower Settlement. Alright. There's a path to go there. There's a shortcut door. There's a site of grace. And a place to go to the left. Okay. Now, playing... or, like, having a snake as an enemy could be a problem with, like, hitboxes. But, I mean, the ulcerated tree spirits are just, like, giant snakes, basically. And they work fine. There's a big guy there. Nope. Nope. Yeah, see, that was one-handed R1 attacks. Like, just basic light attacks. One-handed. And we stun-locked him and stance broke him. Hello. And so... the people who like dual-wielding great hammers or using colossal weapons... and they always say that it's for, like, the stun lock and the stance damage. But greatswords do the same thing. Just trading a little bit of damage for a lighter weight and less stamina cost, better speed. That's a big ladder. I'm not going down that way. I probably should go down that way, but... fine, I'll go this way, so that way I don't have to deal with the magic people. But yeah, greatswords are just very versatile, and very good at everything they do. Mesmer fire grease. Solidified nut grease made from a mixture of incendiary materials, craftable item. Coats armament, adding heavy fire damage to attacks. The effect lasts only for a short time. So like 30 seconds, I would guess. The fire was a symbol of the crusade, and even Mesmer's rank and file soldiers would wield it. Neat. That's locked. Alright, so... it doesn't say... it does not open from this side. It says locked, which means we need a key for it. So if it said does not open from this side, then I would assume that this would be a shortcut. But since it says locked, I feel like instead of being a shortcut, it's probably like a different area to go. Mesmer fire grease. Probably would have been better. Well, that went further than I thought it would. So good range. That looks like the cleaver that the Misbegottens use. And you're dead. And black firefly. Beautiful. I probably shouldn't be swinging instantly like this, because one of these guys might be friendly. Like Gatekeeper Goose Stuck in Stormville Castle. But also, Gatekeeper Goose Stuck was not nice. He stole my lunch money, so if we have another one of those, they can die. Can we jump over there? Probably. Locked. Alright, so we need a key. Ooh. Is this another... Yeah, we can't use torrent, so this might be another, like, Lanedale. Where we can jump across the rooftops. Though... Doesn't seem like there's much here. Which... would be a bit unfortunate if there was just that one item for all of this. Which it looks like that's everything for that side. But there's still this side. There's still half the rooftops to go. Item? Even if there isn't much, it's still cool to just get a new perspective on an area. Be able to hang out on the rooftops. Silver Horn Tender, that's the boost item discovery. Okay. There's some items up there on top of the waterfall. Which means we're heading up there, and I mean, we are going in that direction with the path we're taking. The only path we can take, but the path we're taking. Nonetheless. Hi. That doesn't stun you. That's a little concerning. Ooh. Okay. Alright, maybe the colossal weapons and great hammers had a point. Because... well, this stuns a lot of smaller enemies, and two-handing stuns a lot of bigger enemies like knights. Hi. It does have limits. Greatswords don't tend to stun the, like, super big enemies. There's a way to go this way with enemies. Colossal enemies, I think they're called. Like I said, that's the problem with me not using official terminology. Because I call them Giga enemies. Which, I do that as kind of a joke, but... it's a joke that stuck. I don't know which way is the way to go. Or if they're both ways to go, because Elden Ring does that. Where there will be, like, one start to an area and one end, but there will be like 2 or 3 paths to get to that one end area. There's a way there. Storeroom key. Hopefully nothing smacks us while we're in the menu. Ah, here. Used to open the storeroom on the 2nd floor of Belurat. A key with a spiral engraving opens the door to the storeroom on the 2nd floor of Belurat, the Tower Settlement. 2nd floor. What floor are we on? I don't know any of this. Smithing Stone 5. It's pretty good. I mean, as I said before, by this point, you have to beat Moog. And his area is not chock full of. Ooh. That's how you get onto this side. Hiding around corners like that. Well depths key. Well, that's probably the key to the depths in the well. So we got that. A corroded key opens the iron grating at the bottom of the well in Belurat Tower Settlement. Right. Oh, does that lead us out? Yeah, that leads us back towards the little bird. But that leads us back towards the fork in the road where I went, do we go the other way or do we go the way we're going now? And since we've already made a decent... Thought I heard a footstep. But I'm going to keep going this way since we made a decent bit of progress. Oh, that's what I heard. Those things. I say those things as if I know what they are. That's a ghost flame. I think. I mean, it looks like ghost flame. Where are you going? You can't hide from me. And you can't survive either. I mean, you could easily survive if you just weren't aggressive. Nope. Didn't even know what he was trying to do. But no. We won't allow it. But yeah, the like blue, white, and black flame. I believe that's like death sorcery. Like, Fia's Mist and whatnot. Could be wrong about that because I don't use magic much. Well, you have one sword. Ow. Alright. Yeah, that's something Elden Ring does a lot, is... a lot of the enemies and attacks are like purpose built to mess with your timings. And they do a very good job of that, I have to admit. Horned warrior armor. Armor of the Horned Warriors, Keeper of the Tower. The ochre fabric is draped over a chest piece made to resemble the unclothed form of a hero from older times. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Doesn't really gel with my personal style, but not everything is going to fit your personal style. And there are a lot of ways to go, a lot of options, and it's... Nope. Alright, that's what you do. Good to know, good to know. But, like I said, it gets a bit overwhelming when you're going through an area for the first time, because there's a Steak America here. Which means there's probably a boss. Ow. Well, we have the Steak America. At least. But those enemies do not have chill, so that's a bit rough, and not having, or like, because we died, the big enemy down there respawning. No. No. I was hoping that would... I was hoping that would do that. Well, it's fine. It worked out. And now you're dead. I'm always a bit stingy to use the weapon skill. And I don't know why. Especially now that we have this. Which, let's see, 52, 53, 54. Alright, that's actually slower than I had hoped, but faster than I expected. Red Mane Freya. Alright, so that's almost certainly a boss then. But before we do that, there's down this path, and there's past the soldier enemy. And there's also the path before. We're at 49 minutes in, so I see that guy hanging out there. Oh, there's a second one. I mean, these enemies are pretty easy, but I don't know if I can survive a drop down there. And also, moving over here, we lose the Steak America. No, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. For now, yeah, there's the doorway over here. That's gonna hit me. That hit me. That did basically no damage. Yeah, see, like, you two-hand, I almost didn't roll that. But if you two-hand a greatsword, it just becomes even better. And it feels kind of unfair. Oh yeah, there was a path with the bugs. Does that lead back to there? It looks like it does. So that's good in the sense that that area connects. Fly mold. We can look at that in a minute. We can look at that when there aren't enemies trying to puke on us. I feel like that's a fair criteria to look at items. Fly mold. That's probably a crafting. I don't know where it would be though. Here. You can pause and read that if you want. And I don't really care for crafting materials. And skipping on those also just saves us time. Yeah, so this is for that way. I wonder what's up there. Or if we've already been up there, so I know what's up there, I just don't know that I know what's up there. Which is certainly possible. But for these parts, I like to keep it around an hour. I like to keep it below an hour if I can. So there's 3 ways to go currently. And we are at 52.5 minutes. Hopefully they don't attack me while I'm trying to go through here. They're gonna attack me while I try to go through here. Not anymore. Right, so we're gonna see if I can survive this. We can. Oh, these have a bit more health. Well, that one had a bit more health. Here we get the bone bow. So, light bow has rancor shot. A crude short bow fashioned from sickly bone. A medium for spirit calling. And a product of the ancient hexing arts of the tower. I was hearing weird noises. But unique skill of rancor shot. Imbue arrows with vengeful spirits before firing off a barrage. Imbued arrows chase down foes as they cut through the air. So it's like barrage, but with homing properties. And these things were the weird noises I heard. Kill them with fire. But from the sound of it, it seems like barrage, but the arrows have a bit of tracking on them, which makes it a lot better than barrage. And maybe magic damage? That's a big maybe. And I don't know where we are. Oh, we're here. Alright, so up there and to the left is where the big guy was who gave us the chest plate. Never mind, I don't know where we are. I don't remember an elevator being anywhere. Oh, door. I like doors with levers. Because it doesn't mean boss. Alright, we got this. Alright, so... we got that. Good, 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 good. And that means that... nope. That means that we can go over here... and we can open the door down here. Because we got the key for this. And we got a second key, but I don't know where it is, because I don't think I saw a second locked door. Now see, we took a bit of damage there. And we got a chunk of it back. And we got all of it back. Also, the Blessed Blue Dew Talisman, we got back to full FP a while ago. So, I really like that. It's not much good for this build, but I really like that. That's poison. And we can't use Torrent. And this area is big. I don't like this at all. But this gives big shaded castle vibes. And I do like that, because shaded castle is pretty good. But also poison hurts. There's a ladder to climb. I know that we're at 57.5 minutes. And I said that I like to keep it under an hour. But we just hit a whole new area, and I don't want to go, hey, here's a whole new area anyways. Or a whole new area that's part of the already existing area that we've been exploring. But I'm going to cut it off here. I don't think I'm going to go through this entire legacy dungeon in this part. In fact, big doubts on that. But we can at least get to the next site of grace. Oh, beautiful. Horned warrior sword. Hold up. Oh, it's a curved sword, never mind. But still, curved sword, strength, dex, bit of faith, because why not? Curved sword of the horned warriors, keeper of the tower. The ornamental tangled horns allow the blade to serve as a medium for horn culling. Unique skill, horn culling, invokes tangled horns to cover the weapon's blade, drive the weapon into the ground, culling up a cluster of piercing horns, which I'm assuming would give it more damage. Maybe more, like, bleed buildup or some similar buff. But very cool, very cool. Poisoned hand. There's no way we got a second weapon. We got a second weapon. This is an arcane-based fist with poison buildup. A glove stitched together from the flayed skin of the victims of a butcherous bloodbath afflicts target with deadly poison, raises attack power when poisoning occurs in the vicinity, forged of an unyielding black impulse toward revenge fostered in those who have had everything burned or stolen from them. These are the weapons of the utterly downtrodden. Unique skill, Poison Spear Hand Strike. Make hand into the shape of a spear before unleashing a plunging stab that penetrates the body of the enemy. Afflicts foe with a large dose of deadly poison. Neat. So there's a sunken building over here with an item on top of it. I missed. I'm out of stamina. Now, you might think we're taking a lot of damage right now. And you would be correct that we're taking a lot of damage. But also, we get a ton of health back. From all the health regen that we have. There's another enemy alive somewhere. Oh, way over there. I don't care about them. Right, but like Icon Shield and Blessed Dew Talisman gives you a passive 5 HP per second. Taker's Cameo gives you a bit of health back per kill. Blasphemous Blade gives you a bit of HP back per kill. And in areas with a few very big difficult enemies, like the guys with the curved swords, that doesn't mean a whole lot. But in areas like this where there's a ton of small enemies, or a status effect like poison, that can do a lot. Like, it can put in a lot of work. Door. And this brings us back here. Okay. And then we can cache some of these in. Alright. So there's, I believe, 2 areas left. There was one past the first big guy and off to the right. Over here. Yeah, this is new.
Those strips of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Invader. Hello. Oh, you have fellow fire damage, man. Alright. I thought that we were supposed to be fellow fire damage people. But if you want to play like that... Ow. Sir, that is incredibly rude. But if you want to take my health, I will take it right back. How does that feel, sir? I was out of stamina. Oh, that's a pretty cool sorcery.
Graceless heathen, thou shalt not evade the flame of Messmer.
Well, Mesmer can't avoid the flame of me, alright? Did I... Oh, here. Raise attack power after defeating an enemy. Not bad. That's kind of like my build of a few strong enemies. It's not good. Lots of weak enemies, it's quite good. Ash War Shriek of Sorrow. I know that we're going over an hour, but it's fine. Skill utilized by the downtrodden. Scream causing nearby enemies to flinch while also recalling deep-seated resentment, boosting attack power based on the amount of HP remaining. The lower the HP, the greater the effect. Alright, so it's like the red Tearstone ring, but not as lopsided, not as all or nothing, and as a weapon skill. That's pretty neat. Not something that I use because I really like to keep my HP at full, as you can probably tell. But just because it doesn't fit my personal playstyle doesn't mean it's bad. That sounds pretty good. And we can get some levels in. Like, I could still level up health, I could level up mind, I could level up endurance. Strength is fine. I could level up dexterity, I could level up faith. Like, everything could use level ups. And this is 3 and 4. So I'll go with that. I really should get my health up. But I want to test out new weapons. So here we have Red Mane Freya. I'm normally not super big on summoning, but this is my first time playing through. And I believe it was her that said she's capable in battle, so I want to see if she can hold her word to that. We can beat this boss and end it.
O horn-decked beast from higher sphere delivered, take root inside the tower's sculpted keepers, and perched within, we beg of thee, rise. Dance and kavod, cleanse all that know it. Cruelty, woe, and those who plague the tower. Cleanse away the strumpet's vile progeny.
He seems friendly. And then, screenshot moment. As the games must have. I don't think that shield is going to do much. So, probably better to two-hand. Oh, you have a lot of health. And you do a lot of damage. Not a whole lot against Freya, though. So that's good. Freya can be a bit more of a tank. So. Ow. Yeah, I feel like range would be a lot better against this boss. Because they have a lot of mobility. And so, being able to use magic and being able to hit them while they're constantly running away, probably a very good thing. And both me and Red Mane Freya are, like, we're both so clearly melee builds. And so neither of us can really that's not nice. Like I've said before in the prepping for Shadow the Erdtree run that lightning is the best damage type. You got ice too? Yeah, Freya just distract him for a few seconds. Okay. I mean, they really did go all out. Like I said in near the beginning of the part, they really did go all out for the DLC. With the enemies, with the bosses. They did not hold back. They did not chill. Freya's dead. I don't know if that could be held against her, though. Because her build isn't made for this boss. And they have a lot of health and damage. And I don't know what they're doing. I thought that the Blasphemous Blade was them. But they're down 90k. Remembrance of the Dancing Lion. Oh, item. They dropped an item. Divine Beast Head. Right, let's look at this first. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by the Finger Reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of runes. When the Impaler's army assailed the tower, the ritual of the Lion Dance was turned towards martial ends. Its divinity, its fury, its light-footed beauty. And then I'm assuming this would be... yeah. Ritual headwear in the form of a divine beast head used to perform the lion's dance. Worn by the very finest of the sculpted keepers, alas, it no longer responds to the old woman's earnest prayer. Divine invocation heightens intensity of the storm alongside strength and dexterity, but reduces the restorative effect of drinking from a flask of sacred tears. Focus is also trebled by wearing this. So strength and dexterity both go up by 4 points. But it says heightens the intensity of the storm. Would that be like storm-based skills? And maybe incantations? Like, both those sound pretty good, especially the boosted strength and dex, but like dropping focus, which is for sleep and madness, isn't bad at all, but reducing the effect of your sacred tears, not good. And I know that there's a site of grace there, but oh, we're going up. I thought we were gonna go down. But there's a site of grace right before it. So no point in grabbing two sites of grace that are right next to each other, like one here, one here. I feel like that would do more to clutter the map and confuse you on where you're trying to go more than actually helping you. But heading up here. O tower of ours, hidden in shadow, O lofty spiral piercing the heavens, lead him safely unto greater godhood. And in divinity, grant our salvation. This looks very shady. In every sense of the word. Tower of Shadow message. Message left by Needle Knight Lita. That is such a good name. I don't remember who Lita is, though. Were they the person in the beginning? Like in Moog's boss room? Or were they the person with the curved greatsword who talked to us and said, be friends? I think it was the first person. But message left by Needle Knight Lita, addressed to kindred spirits who also pursue Mikla's trail. The gate of divinity lies in the tower sealed by shadow. That is surely where kind Mikla is headed. We are no Empyreans, but we must locate the path that will lead us there. I will follow the crosses east. Sealed and obscured by shadow. Alright, so I think that's everything here in Belurat Tower Settlement. And then we can head back to the Table of Lost Grace. Because we got a remembrance. And yeah, that's like a normal. That was a bit longer, like 2-ish seconds longer than a normal loading screen for me on this game. But heading into the game took way longer. Right. Enraged divine beast raises potency of storms. A charm depicting the crazed cavorting dance of the divine beast conducted at the Tower Festival raises potency of storms. Divine beasts are messengers of the heavens, and their rage mirrors the tumult of the skies, of which storms are the pinnacle. Okay, so that's a talisman then. And then Divine Beast Frost Stomp, a skill which imitates the wrath of the Divine Beast dance. Lift a leg up high and stamp it down with great force. Sends a powerful wave of frost straight out along the ground. Can be charged to increase power and range. Usable on all melee armaments. Neat. Alright, well... I just realized I don't know how to... I don't know how to open the Shadow Realm map. I know that it says X on the bottom. Ah. So I'm using a controller, but playing on PC. And it is R1, so it's the light attack. But still, we started at the Cliff Road Terminus. We made it to Prospect Town and went through this like little left section. We also went up. We met Moore and Saint Ansbach. And we also went through Belurat Tower Settlement, a full legacy dungeon that we completely completed. And we got Remembrance of the Dancing Lion, along with some upgrade materials in the terms of these things. We got the Ash of War Shriek of Sorrow, which is like the red tearstone ring. We got the Horned Warrior Sword. We got the Pata, the Poisoned Hand, the Bone Bow, the Oath Seeker Knight set, and the Divine Beast Head, along with the Horned Warrior armor, though that was a chance drop. And then we also got the Blessed Blue Dew Talisman, which doesn't fit my build, but I absolutely love. Not going to use it on this character, but I absolutely love it. Along with the Crusade Insignia, which is also pretty decent. So, good progress today. I'm happy with that. And with that being said, yeah.